Good evening, everybody. Pop in, say hi when you come in. Let me know where you're from. My moderators will be here shortly. I am certain. I've missed them this week. I didn't get to see them last Sunday. I actually uploaded a video on hope last Sunday. So I am looking forward to chit-chatting with everybody. Again, like I said, pop in, say hi, let me know where you're from. My desk is a mess. I'm not happy. My desk is absolutely everywhere today. I was out bottle digging. I had a whole bunch of bottles, but yeah, my bag of bottles, somebody liked them, and I was in a bank and out in the bush, and I was digging bottles, and I guess somebody thought my bags were unattended and decided they need my bottles. So when I went back to my bag to put this one in, I didn't have a bag left, right? But I did get another neat bottle. Actually, I got a really neat bottle actually last weekend too. Let me grab it here. This is called a Hutch. This is one of the very first pop bottles here in Canada, and I found that in the bank of the Red River today. So I'm pretty excited. This one is for sure turn of the century or just before, and it actually says Winnipeg in big letters across the side here, and it says Blackwoods. And I know now Blackwoods is 7-Up, is the 7-Up company, right? But they were bought out. This company was bought out by 7-Up a while ago. And this one here, it also says Winnipeg across the top. But this one is actually a beer bottle, an old beer bottle. 1877 is when this company originated, and they set up shop right on the cross of Assiniboine and the Red River. So I'm hoping to come across some more of these ones too. Hi, Andrew. How are you tonight? Cindy with an exclamation mark. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I've actually been learning to type in this mentorship program that I've been in, Andrew. I've been in this program now, well, a couple of months now, I would think, right? I'm going to be sad when it's over. I'm actually feeling quite comfortable there, and I'm going to miss it. I do. I like being around people who practice mindfulness too, right? It's a nice feeling. You feel like you belong somewheres, right? And this organization, everybody there practices mindfulness. Everybody is so nice. Everybody's so nice. I can't help but want to include myself, right, in their interactions. I made myself a little hot chocolate. I got a little chill. I had a quick shower. It was really hot outside, but the air conditioner was on really high, and I was filthy. I was actually covered in mud because I was out bottle digging today, and I was so tired that I just went and I jumped in the shower, and the air conditioner was blowing on me. I got a little bit of a chill. Actually, even my hands are cold today. Oh, okay. Were they allowed to have a full house, Andrew? Were they allowed to fill the church up with everybody, or was there a minimum, like a maximum amount of people allowed in the churches? I know here in Winnipeg, I think there's a maximum of 50 people in a church, right? Oh, Andrew. Oh, well, I'm glad you like that. I was on my way to class. I decided to save my bus ticket so I could use them on the weekend, which I did because I used the bus ticket to go and take the bus down to the river. I was actually halfway there. I was walking and I was halfway there, and I remembered that I had put my rice on when I had left the house, I had put my rice on. It was on low, but I thought, that's gonna just ruin my whole outing if I leave that on today. It probably wouldn't have done anything really except to stink up the house, right? But I didn't want to take any chances, so I walked all the way home. It was a nice walk. I'm in this cheery mood, like I'm not letting anything. I'm just going with the flow. So okay. So I got to walk home. So I walked all the way home. And then when I walked in the door, my rice was perfectly cooked. I put it in the fridge, and then I looked at the counter, and there was my coffee mug that I forgot to take with me. I made a cup of coffee to take for my walk with me, and I left it sitting on the counter, so I was able to pick up my nice fresh hot cup of coffee in my to-go cup here and take it down with me. And then I walked up to the street, and there was my bus, and I just said, well, I guess I'll just use my bus ticket today. And I got on the bus, and I was there digging. Within 5 minutes I was down at the river, and it was more than 5 minutes, maybe a half an hour, right? And I was down there, and I had so much fun. I spent all afternoon there. I went early afternoon or late morning. I didn't even look at the time. And I last time I looked, it was like after 4:00. I went, holy moly, I've got a live show to do on Instagram at 6:00. So I better scurry on home. And then yeah. But I'm pleased. I got a couple of good bottles. I got a couple of good bottles from my dog bottle digging, and yeah, and lots of people there. People are definitely bottle digging there. Yeah. Oh, good, Andrew. Oh, pens. I'm trying to collect pencils, right? I'm starting a box. So whenever I come across a pencil or something, I'm throwing it in this box, And even though I'm coming out of this mentorship program right away, we get access to them for counseling and any problems and stuff that we have along the way. But they'll be starting up a new class right away, right? But I thought I'll pop in. If I fill up my pencil box, I'll take that down for my facilitator there. He's been absolutely amazing. Like I was so lucky. I was so lucky to get into this program that I did. I was very, very, very lucky, and I'm very, very grateful for that, right? So I guess you were pretty happy to get back into church then, eh, Andrew? You were pretty happy to go to church? Are you a singer? Do you like to sing the hymns and stuff, Andrew? I used to like singing. I used to like singing the hymns in Sunday school and stuff. I always enjoyed that. But it's been years. Well, actually, I went to that Bahala church this past winter. I think I was going there for a good month or so, right? And such lovely people, right? And I just never went back. They were so kind to me, such interesting conversations, and I really, really enjoyed them, but I didn't. Oh, Nancy's here too. Oh, Nancy, how are you doing? Fill us in, dear. Fill us in and let us know how it's been going. So I was actually looking for some paperwork to get ready to go back to work and stuff, right? And I was digging through a bin, and I found all these sandwich bags, and all these sandwich bags are my Explorers. Like there's my Greek Orthodox church, and like these memory cards were expensive. I remember spending $20-$30 on some of these cards. I don't know if anybody would want them. I've got to get them all. I got to get all this video onto my hard drive, right? The side by side. Oh, the catalog house. I remember that one. Oh, here comes the sun. That abandoned house in the middle of the sunflower field. That was a good one, right? Oh, the Carberry Mansion. Do you guys remember the Carberry Mansion? That was a good one. and the old barns. Oh, wow. All of these are really, really old videos. Yeah, I've got to get all these videos onto my hard drives. And then I don't know, maybe I can sell these cards or something. I don't know. Maybe I can get $30 or $40 for all these cards. I got a ton of these cards, like hundreds of dollars worth of cards. I don't know how I could have wasted so much money on these. Like these could have just gone on the same hard drive and I could have just used the same card again, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Nancy. I'm so happy you're here. Everybody's going to be so thrilled that you're here. Tell us what's been going on. Do you have any energy that you can let us know what you're going on? Are you still in Seattle? Are you still in your apartment, or are you on your way? Do you still have your train set? I'd like to know if you still have your train set. If you've been able to raise any money for your trip to help you get you going. And how is your health, Nancy? How is your health? I would like to know how you're doing emotionally and physically right now. I'd like to know that too. So that's a lot to let me know. Oh, we got Owen here too. Wow. Hi, Owen. How are you doing? Yeah, it's time to be moving, right? All of us. Ah, October and December. Oh, well, that's good, Nancy. Take your time on your packing, right? And do it slowly. I'm packing too. I'm packing my house too. I started yesterday. I'm just going to line this whole wall up here with all my boxes. I'm not going to take much with me. I'm taking my bed, my fireplace, my desk, my computer. I'm taking the cushions off my couch. I'm not taking the couch, but I'll take the cushions off the couch. That's an expensive couch too. I'm going to take the cushions off my couch because they'll be my camping bed from now on. I really liked using that in my vehicle. I really liked it. It was really comfortable. Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of almost everything. I applied for housing, but they said that it's going to be really hard to get into it because everybody is in the same boat as me and everybody has started applying. Even Habitat for Humanity is upping their game and they're building more houses now. The government has invested a little bit of money into government housing. Oh, good, good. And no, I don't have any money. Nancy actually has a PayPal account. If you go to her Instagram, Nancy's Instagram, and Nancy, you're more than welcome. Put your tag there and your link to your PayPal account. More than welcome to. I would actually insist on it. Put it in there now. And if anybody pops in, or if anybody, after the live show, if you want to get a hold of Nancy and if you wanted to give her $5 or $10, anything to help her out with her trip, that would be much appreciated. I'm so happy to hear that you're keeping the train set. That would have been you would have been able to go through anything, but if you had to lose your train set, Nancy, that would have broken your heart for sure. So I'm saying no matter what, how desperate it gets or how scary it gets, like you hold on to that train set, right? You hold on to that train set and you make sure that it goes with you, Nancy. But yeah, please put your tag in now, Nancy, onto the live here. And then anybody who pops in, whether it's tonight or later on, and watching it later, that maybe you could go check out her PayPal account. If you can help Nancy out, that would be absolutely amazing, right? Nancy has had a really, really rough, not 1 year, but she's in her second year now of absolute misery. Some of the worst time that Nancy's had in her whole life has been going on, like in the past in the past couple of years, right? In and out of the hospital. Now with the coronavirus and the riots and the fires going on, right? She's been having all kinds of issues in and out of the hospitals, right? That's her private stuff, but I'm privy to a little bit of that information, and she's been holding her head up, and Nancy's a tough cookie, even being in a chair, right? Nancy's a tough cookie, and she doesn't let life beat her down. And we've only got a couple of more months of this hairy scary. I just feel it in me, right? Things will start settling down, right? It's pretty messy right now, but things will start settling down in the next couple of months. I feel it, right? I could say you could pretty much trust me on that one. The feeling is very, very strong. In the next couple of months, things will start feeling a little bit better, for us people that have been struggling for so long, right? But yeah, I am really, really pleased. I'm really pleased, Nancy, that you've decided, because the last time I talked to Nancy, like, she was in a desperate situation. She had no money to get down to Louisiana. They both burnt part of the building that she's living in. They have riots, right? It's scary on the norm for anybody, but Nancy's stuck in her chair, right? She has to depend on people to help her out, right? So, oh, perfect, Nancy, perfect. So yeah, this is Nancy's PayPal account. If anybody thinks they might be able to give Nancy a hand, right, to help her get down to Louisiana. And Nancy, every live show we do until you leave, I would suggest that you go ahead and you leave that in there, and go ahead and tell your story in the comments, and I'll try and mention it too as we go along. And somebody out there, you never know, right? I know I've got some people on my channel that would be happy to help if they knew, right? But they don't know to help unless they know somebody needs it, right? So yeah, yes, I know you do, for sure, Nancy, for sure. And for me too, I'm leaving, right? I'm leaving my apartment. My sister says, like, let me talk, right? Maybe we could sort something. No, we're done here, right? Like, I heard her, she expressed herself, right? And it was right from the heart. Like, I had a rough time when I'm also, but when I'm done with this, I don't want to be looking back. From now on, I just want everything to just get a little bit better until it just snowballs, right? And then it just turns out better on its own, right? Yeah. I was thinking about that earlier today. When I was out there, I went bottle digging alongside the river, and I got some amazing bottles today, right? And unfortunately, somebody wanted my bottles, and that's okay. I would have just put them in my window anyway, and I probably wouldn't have. Well, I would have taken my hutch, because I'm pretty excited. Look at my hutch, everybody. Look at my hutch. Isn't that amazing? See how it says, Blackwoods is the pop bottle, and then turn it around, and it says Winnipeg on it, right across the bottom, right? And it's got a little pontoon on the bottom. So but it has mold lines. But yeah. And then this was the cork, and then it would have had a cork piece that was just here. And then this was how the pop bottles were, right? In the late 1800s. They're called hutches. In Atlanta, Georgia, I don't know if any of my subscribers are in Atlanta or in Atlanta, Georgia, but that was the first Coca-Cola company, right? So they're the ones that are going to have the really, really, the hutches that are going to be worth lots of money, right? The very first pop bottles. And then this one that I found, it also says Winnipeg across it, but this one is actually a beer bottle, one of the early beer bottles. It's very, very, very heavy, right? But yeah, I'm looking forward to go doing some more some more digging there. It was lots of fun. It was lots of fun. I wish my bottles had come home with me, but it is what it is, right? Is it still that bad, eh? Seattle it's gotten that bad. I remember how beautiful Seattle was. And even from your pictures, Nancy, when you used to do all the photos and everything of the parks and the flowers and stuff, and you highlighted all the best things about Seattle. Like, I just always thought Seattle was beautiful, beautiful, right? And then I saw that documentary called Seattle is Dying. And it was all about the homeless people in Seattle and how they just put up their tent cities wherever they want, right? And then they take it down and then they just move it a block and then they set up tent city again, right? It doesn't, right? Ah. Isn't that something? Isn't that something that the world is changing the way it is, right? It's was meant to be, right? Those of us who can help, right? Pass the kindnesses along, right? I think this new era that we're going to be moving into, how important kindness is going to the role kindness is going to play. For those of you who don't know, my one word is kindness, right? Look at the books here, right? This is Evan Carmichael's Your One Word, right? He's my aspirational mentor, Evan Carmichael, right? He knows exactly where he's what he's doing, and he does such a great job at getting people to the lessons. He does a really, really good job. Yeah. So I always try to help him to get people to his lessons, right? And I'm always going to do that. No matter what I'm doing, I'll always be suggesting my audience, because I have the same audience as Evan does. He goes for the entrepreneurs, but 50% of his audience are people who just want to believe, right? Evan's one word is believe, right? So my one word is kindness. But it's important that we pass our gifts along, right? He said it's well known, like everybody has a gift where what does Evan say? Michael Jordan at, right? The very best. Nobody's better than you in the whole world at your gift, right? I like communication. I think I'm pretty good at communication. I love history. I love nature, right? There's lots of things. I love working with emotions. I love helping people, I always figured, like, if I can do this, Cindy, if I can do this, then, anybody can. So maybe, help people along and, right? Yeah. And then all of us can crawl ourselves out of this hole. Yeah. I'm so done with the hairy scary, right? But at the same time, I'm feeling better now. I'm certainly not even a fraction as weary and as exhausted as I was last year. And I haven't even taken a break. In fact, the stress has been tenfold on me since last year, right? I'm boiling the last of my eggs right now. So every day this week, I'm just going to have an egg before class. And I expect that I'm just going to lose 5 more pounds. 5 more pounds is my play 5 pounds, right? Where I can just eat like a normal person. And then if I go over that 5 pounds, then I can go on a diet for a couple of days. I don't want to get any smaller than what I am now, because if I get any smaller than the way I am now, right, then I'm going to have loose skin. Right? The body looks okay. It's gone back pretty good. The shape is okay. But if I lose any more weight, then I'm going to have saggy skin, right? I don't want to have saggy skin. These last few years that I'm mobile and not considered like senior citizen, not quite yet, getting close, but not quite yet. I want to spend that time, right? I'm going to buy some nice clothes, now that I've lost the weight. I'm going to, make myself feel physically better, right? My physical appearance, right? Losing the weight and just feeling good about myself. I really like the Pakistani suits. I would like to buy a couple of colorful Pakistani suits. They're long dresses with long sleeves. They got lots of embroidery, sometimes with sparkles and stuff. And then they come with a set of pants and a scarf. I wouldn't wear the scarf, right? I wouldn't wear the scarf, but definitely the suit, the pants and the dresses. And yeah, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. I think they would look very nice on me too, right? Yeah, so if I get some extra money, I'm going to buy myself a custom one. I'd like a flesh color one with lots of sparkles. Yeah, I like sparkles. Sparkles on everything. What do we got here? What do we got going on? Oh, really? Like everywhere's, Nancy? It's like that everywhere's all because Seattle is such a huge city. Like they're looting and burning and destroying businesses like absolutely everywhere's in the city. Oh, I can't imagine. I just remember how beautiful Seattle was. I've been to Seattle many times, right? You know what, Nancy? Before you leave, I don't know if you get outside at all, but wouldn't it be neat if you could go to those same spots that you took those pictures and take a picture of it, that spot now, right? And then you could do your own post, right? Before and afters of Seattle, right? Seattle is dying. Look at it when it was beautiful and alive, and now look at it when it's, you know, right? That would be interesting. Before and afters. Yeah, terrible. Aw. Oh, Kim's here too. Hi, Kim. Oh, I haven't talked to Kim forever. How's Kim's health doing? I hope Kim's been doing well. And Melvin's here. Hi, Melvin. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Nancy. I'm sorry to hear that because I know how much you love Seattle. I know how much you love Seattle, right? You don't have to. It was just a suggestion because you know what? I think that would be really, really interesting. And I think that probably would be a post that would do really, really well. I mean, all you need is a few sponsors, right? If you did a really nice job on those pictures, Nancy, right? The before pictures of those beautiful photographs that you took, and then do another one in the same spot. And I think if you did a series on that, I bet you it would hit. I bet you it would hit really, really well. And that might just be your ticket out. It's just an idea, but oh, they're just like they're doing in the Middle East. They're burning the flags in your own country. Oh, and statues? Holy moly. Wow. How is it, Andrew, where you are? Do you have the same thing going on too, Andrew, in your city? Right? I would be interested to know. That's, Wow. See, we don't really see that, right? Here in Manitoba, everybody's going about their lives as if it's like every day. And yet we had 40 new cases the other day. 40 new cases. It was crazy. We couldn't believe it, right? Oh, good. Well, that's good, Andrew. Yeah, here in Winnipeg, everybody, we're very outdoors here. People in Manitoba, we spend a lot of time in the wilderness, bushwhacking, camping, at the lake, at the beach. Yes, we have a beach. We're in the middle of the continent, but we also have, I think, the third largest body of water here in Canada is in Manitoba, right? Well, we're not counting the Hudson Bay, right? The Hudson Bay's here up in Manitoba, further up north too. But yeah, Lake Manitoba, Winnipeg Lake. I think Winnipeg Lake is 24,000 kilometers. 24,000 kilometers. It's huge, huge. Oh, Jordan who though, Andrew? Jordan who? Like, yeah, I only know a couple of Jordans. Oh, yeah, I did a live show one night a few weeks back, and I was talking about the pieces of art, right? The bronze statues and the carved statues and how they need to be taken down and put away because they were racist or they were attached to slavery. But I have this idea like that was art, right? So, as much as these people didn't get it right and they probably did quite wrong, right? And did people wrong, it's still art, right? Somebody put a lot of love to craft those bronze statues and everything. And then to see them get ruined, right? Or destroyed because of the racial tension, right? Can you imagine? Like, if somebody had well, they do it, right? Remember what happened with the rebel flag, right? That was not what, 10 years ago when they had all that hoopla in the States that they wanted the rebel flag gone. I don't know if it worked. I don't know if they took the rebel flag off as a main flag. I know here in Manitoba when the RCRs, they shut down the Air Force Base, right? Because of what happened in Somalia. We didn't treat the prisoners well in Somalia. So they disbanded the Air Force, the RCRs here, right? And, right, right, right. Yeah. So my husband, he was in the military and he was covered in Yosemite Sam tattoos. My husband was the kindest, sweetest man you would ever want to meet. Didn't have a racial bone in his body, right? Until they tried to kick him out because of his Yosemite Sam tattoos. Then he got a little bit loud about it, and then he ended up having to leave his job in the military here in Winnipeg. He missed it so much that he had to go in through the back door, and he rejoined, and me and him, we moved to Edmonton. He joined the first in Edmonton, right? And he started up again. But yeah, it wasn't a good idea, right? It wasn't a good idea. The military is smart. They probably recognized that my husband was probably having some issues. I didn't recognize it. I didn't. I knew it was different, and you hear a little bit, when the guys are away that, they might come back, not being quite themselves, right? So I kind of expected a little something, but I wasn't well read on the topic of post-traumatic stress disorder or anything, right? And then when some of the stories came out from his tour, my husband's tour that he did tours. Oh, he did a few tours. He did 2 tours in Croatia in 93 and 94, I think. He did Operation Harmony in Croatia when and they were burying people in the ground wherever, and it was polluting the water system, and my husband's job was to go in there and get them and bury them other places, right? So it affected my husband, right? Everybody has different strengths emotionally. Some people, they can do lots of tours and not have any problems, but other people, they try and act tough, but in actuality, they're quite sensitive. And I think probably that was my husband, right? He tried to talk a big game. He tried to talk a big game and try to be brave and, try and be tough. But, it got to him. He endured something that was traumatic and it affected him, and he came home and he tried to be normal. He didn't want to be kicked out of the army and lose his job, right? Because if you're not healthy, obviously the military wouldn't want you to stay on with them. So he was hiding it from the military, and at the same time he was hiding it from me. My husband was hiding it from me. We had been separated for almost a year when I found out that he had post-traumatic stress disorder. I think the Padre on base might have contacted me, or he might have gotten me to fill out some forms. It seems to me I was filling out some forms and stuff for him in order to see the doctors, because he was still getting his checks and everything from being in the military. They still paid him and everything, but he had to go through therapy and right. And then he ended up not staying in the military after all. Yeah. I should have known though, because when he came back from one of his tours, he didn't even tell me, and he took his pension and he went and bought himself a Harley Davidson. So I should have known that something was up. I wasn't happy that he didn't. Like, I would have let him do it. If that's what he wanted, I would have let him do it, right? But he didn't even talk to me. He never even gave me the heads up. He just did it like as if it was like sneaky, as if I was going to say no. Like, he didn't trust me to even tell me. So he went ahead and he bought this Harley Davidson off of his best friend. And his best friend actually scammed him and sold him a Harley Davidson. It was a Triumph. It was a very expensive bike too, right? It was, oh yeah, his whole pension. He took his whole pension and he blew it on this bike. And this bike actually had a crack in the gas tank, right? So it ended up in milk crates at the dealership, getting repairs. They were working on it and stuff. Then when we separated, the gentleman at the dealership, he died, and I had to go and get the bike because I didn't know where my husband was staying. I just said, get out of the house. I want the house by myself, right? Until I can, afford to get enough money together to rent a truck and load the truck up and come back to Manitoba, which is exactly what I did. I just spent a month or two there, saving as much money as I could, right? And then I rented a truck and I came back to Winnipeg. But it was very difficult, right? Because at the same time, my husband was trying to get some help, right? And probably wasn't in the right frame of mind. And, oh, Kathy's here too. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, probably he wasn't in the right frame of mind. And neither was I. I mean, my marriage had just fallen apart, right? There was no divorce in my family. And I had what I thought was an amazing marriage, right? Me and my husband, we never raised our voices at each other ever. He never yelled at me. I never yelled at him ever. It was such a good marriage. And, we agreed on things. On most of the times when he wanted to do something or make a change or something, like, we would talk about it. Sometimes he would surprise me. When he surprised me when he brought this great big blonde lab home. Oh my gosh. And this dog was so traumatized you couldn't go near this dog without it pooping on the floor, right? Because it was so scared, right? but it wouldn't listen. It was just not a good dog. And my husband was away for most of the time, so the dog was left with me. And then one day it just got out, and it never came back, you know. And I wasn't sorry that dog went. Like, I like dogs, but that dog had a lot of problems. That dog needed to be on a farm, right? To be with the animals. It wasn't meant to be around people. Yeah. But like I said, it's funny, right? Post traumatic stress disorder, it really does a job on you. I never ever in a million years would have thought that I would have been one of those people that would have gotten divorced, right? Like I said, I never knew anybody who was ever divorced. None of my friends, right? None of my relatives. There was no divorce. That doesn't mean that there were happy marriages. Definitely, that doesn't mean that there were happy marriages, right? In those days, you made the best choice that you could, right? And then you just stuck it out. You just stuck it out. Good or bad, you just stuck it out. And if you were lucky, when the kids turned 20 years old, then you could just say, "Oh, okay, well, I'm going to divorce you, and I'm just going to go and live my own life," which you probably should have done to start with. Like, I should never have married my husband, right? But he swept me up, and he was so romantic, and he was the first person who truly, truly loved me, right? Besides my dad, like, he was the only man that just truly, truly loved me no matter what. And that's why it was such a hard breakup, because I never even asked him why, right? He just came home one day and he said, "Cindy, I don't think I want to be married anymore," right? And yeah, I probably didn't take it well. I probably just bawled my eyes out. I was in shock, probably. I probably didn't believe it was true. So I probably sent him off to his friends for a couple of days, right? To cool off from whatever was bothering him. He never discussed it with me, what was going on, right? But it was this thing that he had gotten called on. They discovered he had the post-traumatic stress disorder, and he didn't want me to find out. I'm pretty certain that's what it was, because I didn't find out until we had been separated for almost a year. I didn't find out that he had post-traumatic stress disorder. Again, that was from, digging up the bodies that were polluting the water system in Croatia, right? And then reburying them. Yeah. Yeah, scary. War is scary. And yeah, Nancy is living in a war zone. In North America, there are war zones. Isn't that just like the most incredible thing? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, right? The unkindnesses that we do to each other, right? Yeah. Anything you can do as a little kindness, even if it's just a compliment, if somebody has nice hair or wearing a nice outfit, like anything, any little kindness that can put a smile, even if it's just for 30 seconds onto somebody's face. Yeah. Yeah. If everybody could try. Take care, Nancy. Take care. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. I love Nancy. I love Nancy. Yeah, she's had a pretty rough couple of years, people. Really, really rough couple of years. And she's a really powerful empath, that one. But I think she's a little bit like me, right? Those gifts are for other people. They're not for ourselves, right? They're not for us to dig ourselves out of our miseries or to reward ourselves with all the wonderful things we want in life, right? That's there to help others, right? Yeah. Good night, Nancy. Yeah, amazing. It's amazing how the world has changed so much, right? In 6 months. In 6 months, right? Incredible, you know. But everybody gotta look forward, right? The end of the virus. Once the virus is over, everybody's gonna feel so much better, right? Everybody's gonna feel so much better, get back to work, clean up the mess, right? do a little bit of chastising, right? There's nothing wrong with chastising, right? And it's just a matter of letting them know that they did wrong, right? Like these kids that broke into these stores and these businesses and stuff, they have to live with what they did, right? They contributed to what was going on here with the riots and stuff, right? I heard that somebody was leaving big piles of bricks and stuff in piles and then encouraging people to riot. I couldn't believe that when I heard that. People just coming in and just leaving big piles of bricks, just leaving them there, just so people would grab them and then, like throw them at windows of stores and stuff. Yeah, it's strange, right? It's really strange. But again, you got to take care of yourself, right? It is true then, eh? Yeah, I couldn't believe that. When I heard that, I just, right? Like why do people want to live like that? I don't understand why anybody would want to do that to each other, let alone themselves, right? We have children and grandchildren, right? That deserve to have the life that we had, even if we didn't think that it was an amazing life, because we had struggles too, right? Certainly better than what's going on now. So you can imagine the trauma that these kids are going to be growing up with, going to be having tons of trauma. Yeah. I want to work with these kids. I think I could do a lot of good to help alleviate some of those they're debilitating, these beliefs that we carry around with us our whole lives. It's totally debilitating. I always thought that, maybe I would be really good at, doing elementary schools, when they do the auditorium and, right, I could go in and I could tell my story. I would be perfect for that because I don't normally even slip with swear words every once in a while, certainly not with kids, right? And I could probably get the message across really, really well, so that these kids don't grow up having issues like I had or other people have had out there, right? You know, those of us who lived those rough childhoods, right? And we carried those problems into our young adulthoods, and then we have to live with them. We have to cope with them. And then on top of that, your kids have to cope with your issues. And then probably you're not talking about your issues. You're just keeping it inside. So, you're just chewing on yourself and not really getting any help for anything. And I think that's kind of what happened with me, right? And then when I found my YouTube channel, and as I was learning how to run my YouTube channel, and I got introduced to some motivational and some inspirational content, right? It saved my butt. It saved my brand. Like seriously, it saved my brand, right? Oh, Andrew, we would make a good team then. Oh, Andrew. Yeah, that doesn't sound good, does it? That the compassion, right, is gone, that everybody is just kind of looking out for themselves, but it will come back, right? It will come back. It's just the timing. The timing right now could not be any worse for emotions and stirring ups and bringing to the surface, like, this it it is what it is, but if we can manage the best we can to our emotions and just ride the waves for a couple of months, it will ease up quite a bit. Remember, Spanish flu was only here for 18 months until it just 100% disappeared. And you know how overpopulated England was, Great Britain was, right? Right? That disease spread like wildfire, right? But at the same time, the virus only did last for 18 months. There was another virus right before the Spanish flu, there was another virus, and what did they call it? Oh, the stomach flu. They called it the sleeping flu, because the only thing you could do, because you died within 24 hours. If you're going to die from this flu, you're going to die within the first 24 hours. So the only thing you could do as soon as you recognize that you had this flu was to go and lay in bed and make yourself as comfortable and well rested, right? With all your needs to treat yourself with your flu, and just try to make it through the 24 hours. And that happened right before the Spanish flu in 1918, but only 18 months. We can do that, right? That's no sweat. And then we're going to clean up the cities, right? We're going to clean up the government, right? Get that back on track, right? We're going to, get the children comfortable, encourage them in their growth and their understandings and in their emotions so that they can grow up a little bit healthier, right? Yeah. Well, Andrew, I sure could use some of that advice as I'm going into my new job, Andrew. I'll be starting a new job next week. I might be going to the store. I might be going somewhere else. We're doing interviews this week. I did a mock interview on Friday. Yeah. And I know the lady, and it was still uncomfortable, right? I don't like interviews. I don't like to put myself in a position where I'm not the one that's in control, right? I like to have control at all times. It's a survivor trait, right? I want to call the shots with me, right? So it's very hard for me to be around official people, higher ups than me, right? Teachers, people in teaching positions and stuff, because that puts me in a position where I have to be the one to follow, and the one to listen, and the one to take the feedback, right? Yeah, I would much prefer to be the one in the seat, right? And giving out that information, because I would do it good too. Like, nobody would have to worry about me treating them badly or yelling at them or degrading them. That's just not in me to do that, right? Yeah. I would have liked to have gone into the elementary schools. I think I could have done so much good if I had gone into the elementary schools, right? Or even in the freshman grades in high school, because that's when the kids really start to get in trouble, right? I would have liked to have gone in there and had conversations, and then maybe, get a couple of these kids into a position where they don't actually have to even move into that life, right? Just really exhausted today. I went bottle digging in the sun, and yeah, I worked really hard. I was holding onto tree roots in order not to fall in the river. It was funny. It was funny. Yeah. Oh, I agree with you, Andrew, on that. I've had Melbourne, like Canada's Governor General. Yeah, the oh, okay. Oh, Andrew, isn't that strange, right? Yeah. Sometimes we catastrophize that way, right? But you know what? I know you're a little bit like me, Andrew, and I know you have that sense about you. And that's part of the reason too, right? Where I have problems with the interviews, because I have to feel people out in order to feel safe. Now I've got it down pat to do it really, really fast, right? I can get a good read usually in a first sentence. I've taught myself how to do it that fast. But Yeah, I feel people, right? And I trust my judgment. And I think, Owen, or Andrew, you're like me like that, right? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I don't like interviews. All I know is I really really don't like them. But I do good in them, right? Like I pull myself together and I do amazing in my interviews. I don't know how well I did on Friday, but it's been a while since I did one, right? But I usually do pretty amazing in my interviews. And if I can get an interview, I can usually get the job, right? I could usually get the job. Huh. Yeah, sometimes we rub people the wrong way, right? There's a couple of people, like I know my sister Tracy, I know I rub her soul the wrong way. I know I do, right? And sometimes I worry that because we keep trying, right? We keep trying to make it work, that her health is so bad because we keep trying. Every time we try, that maybe her health takes another little bit of a beating, right? And that's how the serendipity works with that. I don't know. Right? Oh, Melvin. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like interviews. And I got another one coming up I probably have a couple of them coming up this week. I don't know. I'm just playing it by ear and I'm trying not to think about it, stop and just kind of live in the moment, right? Just kind of live in the moment and right. And just stay cheery because things are really tough right now. Things are really tough. Yeah, things are tough and we're just going to ride those waves. It's only for a few more weeks. It's only for few more weeks and it will all be over. I'll be settled into a new apartment maybe, right? I'm not going to leave unless I have something because I'm sure the mayor is going to make sure that we're all okay. I'm not going to say for sure, right? But I'm going to try my best first paycheck, right? To find a new apartment or find a room in somebody's house. It will be better. I'm not even worried about it. It's the least of my worries. I'm not afraid of what's happening. I'm just going to do whatever I have to do to get things back to things are never going back to normal. And with me, I wouldn't even know what normal was anyway. I've never lived a normal life, right? Right? But it'll be a good one for sure. For sure. Get myself a good job, start saving some money so I could put some money down on a claim, right? Open up an amethyst mine, start selling my amethysts as part of my brand, right? And each one of my moderators will get their own amethyst and I'll personally pick it out and it'll be like a special keepsake for you guys. Yeah. And even if I don't get my mine, I'm going to go up there soon and as soon as I can get my hands on a vehicle for a couple of days, I'm going to go up there and I'm just going to fill a couple of buckets up and go hunting for amethyst myself, right? I think they charge like $4 a pound, right? I can sell it a 1 pound, a 1 pound amethyst. I could probably get $100 for a 1 pound amethyst, maybe even more, maybe even a couple hundred. Depends how beautiful it is, right? How many crystals and how purpley it is and how clear the amethyst is, right? But yeah, they're just all over the place. This one mine that I want to go to is actually in Northern Ontario and it's actually for sale, right? It's actually for sale. So I thought, oh, and they want $2.5 million. They say they have 85 years worth of amethysts, right? Yeah, but I would want a 350-year lease on the property. I would have to make sure that it's secured and for future generations, 350 years I need. I try to be optimistic, right? It's important. Thank you. Thank you, Owen. Because I truly believe too that this is going to happen for me. I truly believe it. There's no reason to believe it, right? If you look at my life and where things are going and right and the problems that I have, like you would never in a million years think, oh yeah, she's going to hit it. She's going to hit it big. But I think that, right? So yeah, you're right. You're right on. I am optimistic and I'm going to stay optimistic. I'm going to stay that way. Good things happen. Stay positive. See? Kim? Yes. So yeah, so hopefully this fall because you're allowed to go hunting for amethyst there until end of September. I think Labor Day is the last day that you can go. But yeah, and they sell them online and stuff. They do really, really well. I think an amethyst fine. In Arkansas, they have clear crystals in Arkansas, and I don't know how close Arkansas is to here in Manitoba, but I would like to take a trip down to Arkansas because they have amazing crystal mines for the public in Arkansas. So if I get into the States again, I'm definitely going to go down there and I'm going to hunt for amethyst in Arkansas. But yeah, there's amethyst here in Manitoba, but not like in northern Ontario. Most of it is up around the northern part of Lake Superior, right? Yeah. We have precious gems. We have lots of meteorites here. One of the biggest meteorites in North America actually hit, and our deepest lake here in the White Shell has is actually a meteor hole. It's a hole. So every once in a while, people find the little pieces of meteorite, right? Around for hundreds of miles around the lake, right? Yeah, it must have been, and that's how I can kind of think too that probably the dinosaurs were wiped out by the meteor, right? Because that would have kicked up all that smog. It would have made it so the sun couldn't go through, which would have put us in another ice age. There's no way that the dinosaurs would have been able to survive an ice age. We got another ice age coming up in 300 years, just over 350 years. We got another ice age coming up, right? Yeah, there's in Iceland, one of their ice fields is never coming back. There's no way, even if we got control over the climate and the pollution and the global warming, this ice shield is never gonna it's beyond saving, right? So and there are lots of places out there, right? The seals are gonna have an issue, right? The polar bears are already having problems because they need that winter ice. That's how they get out there and they get their seals and stuff, right? They need that winter ice in order to keep that fat going on them because yeah, it's really, really, really cold up there. Mm, tasty. That's funny, Andrew. Yeah, but I believe dinosaurs got wiped out from the meteor. If not from the direct hit, probably not the direct hit, but the consequences of the meteor, right? The dust in the air blocking the sun from coming down, making the growth die, like all the greenery die. So there was no food, right? Yeah, and then with the dust there, it would have blocked the sun from coming through, and we would have ended up being in an ice age. It probably threw us into an ice age, right? And the things that survived, right, were the ones that were able to get underneath the ground, right? So those are the little animals and stuff, right? Or get deep into the water, the alligators, right? The ants. The ants survived. Ants will always be here no matter what happens. I was actually reading something and it said it doesn't matter what we do to this world. It doesn't matter what we do to this world. Mother Nature will take care of itself. It will just take over. And that's so true because all of you guys who watch my urban exploration videos, how nature takes over an abandoned house if it's not maintained, right? Nature will just take it over until it gets to the point where you didn't even know that there was a house on the ground at one point, right? Oh, interesting, Kim. Interesting. I didn't know they had amethyst up in Dawson City too, but yeah, it makes sense that there would be because it needs rock. It needs loose shale rock in order for it to form, right? But millions of years old. Like if you have a piece of amethyst, you have something that's millions of years old, millions, hundreds of thousands of years at the very least, right? Ah, yeah, my birthstone is opal. What's everybody's birthstone, you guys? Yeah, mine is opal. And I was never a big fan of opal until recently, until I realized how precious opal really is. I had a big piece of opal. I had a big piece of opal and I just threw it away. I just threw it away. It was pulled out of a piece of jewelry, antique jewelry, but I wasn't a big fan of opal, so I just threw it away, and it was a big one. It was like this big. It was like part of a brooch or something, right? And I just threw it away, and then I found out like a fortune. I was watching a guy here. He buys amethysts and he cuts them, so I kind of get interested in those rock. I like rocks. Like, look at you guys, right? This is my bowl of disappointments. These are all my rocks from my trip when I went to Toronto. I stopped like every couple hours on I stop on the side of the road and I would just look for the most beautiful stones and everything. And yeah, I brought all those home with me and now they're gonna stay with me until I'm dead, right? Just I don't know. I look at them and it just gives me a nice fond memory, right? I loved my trip. No matter what it threw me into. If this would have happened to me no matter what, right? I would have lost the car no matter what, right? So I'm really, really happy that I took my trip to Toronto at the very least because I got at least to do that with my car. I've been cleaning up my shelves and stuff and packing stuff away. That's how come everything is kind of messy and stuff out of place. But I just kept a few things. I've been packed all my books. I just left these ones here for my lives, right? Because I like to promote Evan whenever possible. Because he's added so much to my channel. He's kept this channel going, right? And then there's Kathy's coloring for me and my AdSense. I got to make sure that goes with me. That's going to be with me forever. I'm so excited. I really, really thought this summer was the summer that I was going to go back on the road. I really thought that I was getting back on the road this summer. Fall's still here. There's still a couple of months, right? Fall could happen. Things could still turn around and I could have a great fall. But I love winter too, but I don't do many road trips. Yeah, maybe I can do the fort. Who knows? I have to talk to Ray about that because obviously I need a car to get out there, right? Or at the very least get him tied in order to do it along with me, right? Yeah, we'll call it Surviving Ray this time, my brother in law, Ray. He'd like that. He'd like that. And I wouldn't even hide it, right? Like his last time when I was doing it with him, I had to edit. He yelling and swearing and saying terrible things about people, right? Right, and I had to edit it all out. This time I wouldn't. I would just let him shine his glory on everybody so everybody can just get a good dose of what my brother-in-law Ray is like. Has the biggest heart in the whole world. If I needed anything, right? I needed help with anything, he all I'd have to do is ask. He'd probably crawl down my throat, tear me a new one, but he would always do what I needed, right? He would grumble about it, but I know he would come through for me, and I can depend on my brother-in-law that way. There are traits in him, right? That's why it bothers me when I hear people say such terrible things about people who have narcissistic traits, right? Because my brother-in-law, no question, my brother-in-law is a narcissist, right? He knows it, right? But it doesn't. He knows it, but he doesn't know it. Is that he pretends he doesn't know it, right? He just, as far as he knows, he's just a very smart man that nobody listens to. Yeah. I think you're right there, Owen. I think things will start to roll back to normal, but it will be a different kind of normal, right? Oh, really? Like do that online? Yeah. I would like that. I've gotta watch out for a tumbler, right? Because I thought I would tumble my stones. That would be another way to keep my brand going, support my brand. Because it is really hard. Like I've been going to class, I've been going to school, right? I've been doing half days of work. I've been staying up on my lives. I've been doing my written posts every day, um, dealing with the stress of my everyday life. And that is ongoing, but everybody struggles with that way, right? But I'm just so pleased. But through all of that, I kept my brand going. Like I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that amazing things are going to happen because I was able to do that, right? And at the very least, right, I'm sure my brand has got to be worth something. Like I've heard of people, getting a couple 100,000 for their brand. So I don't know if I can't make it go, then maybe that's my down payment on my amethyst mine, right? And then I'm gonna go work for Evan, and I'll make my money that way. I'll just start all over again, start a brand all over again, right? Right? I would love to see Prairie Dodgers actually go to the province of Manitoba. I would love for it to be right full of history and nature, and for them to promote it that way, right? Because this is going to be Manitoba is going to be someplace in the world where people are going to seek out to want to come visit. I'm 100% certain of that, right? And it's all because of our nature, and all because the history, and all because of the wilderness that we have, the untouched wilderness. How you can go 10 minutes out of the city and feel like you live in the world all by yourself. That's the kind of province we live in. You don't find those places anywheres unless you want to move up to Alaska. And even Alaska now is pretty busy, right? Even Alaska is pretty busy. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great, Andrew? That was always the plan. That was that was always the plan. Yeah. Oh, and I think I'll make it your way before you make it my way. That's for sure. I know I will. We haven't seen Dave here for a couple of weeks either. Yeah, Moo Cow. Yeah. He isn't here in here tonight, is he? Dave's here. Hi, Dave. I know you'll watch my video, my live later on. If you pop in, I just want to say hi to Dave. And I want to say hi to Sharon, because I know Sharon will pop in too, right? And watch the video later, right? I know she will. Ah, the mask. Yeah, I've got a couple of masks, but I'm wearing my mask. I don't care. I don't care. And they'll be nice in the wintertime. They'll keep our faces warm in the winter, won't they? Just people got to remember, you got to give your mask a wash, right? Every couple of days you want to make sure that you wash your mask. It's not like wear your mask all week and then maybe throw it in with the laundry at the end of the week. No, you got to make sure that your mask is clean all the time. And taking your mask off and on, right? You could be passing the germs around. Yeah. Yeah, but rock hounding. Yes, I really do want to try some serious rock hounding. I'm looking forward to it actually. I've been actually studying it. We have garnets here in Manitoba, right? So they're like rubies. I'm finished, but if I had a tumbler, they would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, for sure. Kathy's gonna come in and we're gonna go bottle digging. Look at Kathy. Take another look. Take another look. Take another look. Right? There would have been cork because I peeled something off of this when I was pulling it out of the window. Out of the bottle. It came off, so I thought maybe it was probably cork around there. If you could let me know if that's what it was, but yeah, so it just fit in like it just did like that, right? And had some cork in there. And then yeah, that was the plug. Is that a beautiful bottle? Yeah, and let's see. And on top of that, it's really heavy. It says Winnipeg. It says Winnipeg across it. And then my beer bottle here. I washed it the best I could. This bottle is our property. Any charge made, therefore, simply covers its use while containing goods bottled. Yeah, must be returned when empty. Yeah, and then it says EL Brewery right here. And then here it says Winnipeg. So I looked him up and he came to Winnipeg in 1877, this gentleman. And it got bought out by another company, but he started this company in 1877. And that's a beer bottle. Yeah. It almost looks like the beer bottles that we have today. Because remember, they went down to the brown stubbies. Remember the brown stubbies? They were so cute. They were only like this big and they're a little chunky. Yeah, they were pretty cool. Yeah. But I do love. So I can imagine what they've been finding because there's some pretty big holes there, right? There's some pretty big holes there. So I can imagine it looks like a regular pop bottle. It doesn't look that old to me though, Kathy. You're saying that's a really old one, but it doesn't look that old to me, but you would know better to me. It's just that I'm looking at the lip and the lip looks like a regular pop bottle, but I guess I don't know. One of the streets have been closed so that people can eat outdoors, like pull tables out onto the streets and sit outside and eat. Is that what you're saying, Andrew? Oh, Owen, yeah. Like you guys, like, yeah, I'm ready for company. I just listening to Kim, right? She's just irritated. Kim's just irritated with the face mask, right? She's irritated with people that aren't wearing the face mask properly. Yeah, I agree with you, Kim. Wearing masks with slits in them. Oh, isn't that strange? Oh, from the seams. From the seams. Oh, okay. So there's a seam that runs right across here. Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because this one has seams too, right? This one has a seam that runs all the way from here right down, right? Oh, interesting, Kim. Yeah, I love old bottles. Actually, Kathy is a bottle digger, right? So I send her video. I took videos of a few of those bottles that I dug. Do you want me to send them to you, Kathy, so you can take a look? They weren't very exciting, but I don't know. You might like them. I just as I found them in the dirt, right? And I just this one here, I just found it was just this that I saw, right? And then I dug around and I got it. I'm so very surprised because I could clearly see my bottles, right? I could clearly see my bottles uh, on the surface, like either this piece was sticking out or this piece. So I don't know. We had a big rain in the past couple of days that maybe the bank got washed out a little bit. So, but I was hoping it was all going to be dry there because I was more excited about going to look for buttons. I like the porcelain buttons and the bone buttons. I found a couple of buttons today. I found a little stone made out of stone, a little button made out of stone, and then I found well, it wasn't little; it was a pretty big button, that one. And then the other button was an abalone button. But I like the little when they make them out of the chicken bones and stuff. I like finding those buttons, right? Because those were the poor people, right? Just being ingenious and creative and making buttons, right? And they made them out of chicken bones. I have my magnets. I have two 80-pound magnets and it is lots of fun. I got them for when I go urban exploring that I could put the magnets down the wells, right? Whether there was guns or the ladies drop jewelry in there and stuff. I just thought that the magnets would be fun to have for the wells, right? But I haven't used my magnets. I'm afraid of we have lots of garbage in the rivers, like lots of metal and cars and bikes and rocks, right? So I worry if I throw my magnets in there, they're going to get stuck and then I'm going to lose my 80-pound magnet. Yeah. But either way, I'm not using it. So, I might as well take a chance. And yeah, maybe next time I go out, I'll take my magnets with me. And actually, maybe when I go down to the river next time, right? Just along the river's edge, take my magnet with me, right? Because over the storms and stuff, all that neat stuff that got washed into the river. Today I was pulling out, I pulled out a steam engine, a lead one. It was made of lead, right? Steam engine with the guy driving it, with the little man driving it. It was about this big, really, really heavy because it was made of lead. But it was all rusted. Like there were like crustaceans already growing, metal crustaceans growing on it. Oh, okay. Did you find anything interesting, Owen, when you went magnet fishing? I what I do with my magnet fishing is I put a elastic band around my magnet, and then I put a face cloth around my magnet, and then I tied up with the base band or the hairband, so that when I throw my magnet out into the water and I pull everything in, all I have to do is undo the elastic band and peel off the face mask, right? Because you know how strong those magnets are. It's really hard to get everything off the magnets. But if you have the magnet wrapped in a face cloth, everything sticks to the face cloth, and all you have to do is pull the face cloth off. And once the magnet's on there, it's just a big pile of little metal things, right? I love old tools. I kept some of my dad's old tools. My dad had some antique tools. I don't know if they were his dad's. They were really old. when he had them too, excuse me, I had a really tiring day today. I was bottle digging all day. I was bottle digging. I was just wiped right out. And I walked home and I just walked like 100 years old. I'm going to sleep really good today. Sleep really good. And then, I expect that this week is going to be pretty rough. I've got some bill people I have to talk to. Rental has got a for rent sign for my apartment on the front door. The mayor said they can't evict us till September 30th. Like, as of now, like, yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. If they try to evict me, I'm not going anywhere. And I better get 24 hours notice if they want to show my apartment. And they better let people know that it's going to be a minimum of September 30th. I need every moment of that time. And again, this month, I'll give them, all the money that I possibly can, right? I might have to put a down payment on a place, right, for the end of the month. But other than that, I'll give them every penny that I get, right? Just to show good faith, even though they lost faith in me, right? I don't need to have, a couple of $1,000 bill hanging over my head that I have more bill collectors trying to get money from me. As it is, my credit cards are going to need a lot of work, right? These credit card companies are going to garnish my wages immediately. As soon as I get a job, they're going to be on it and they're going to take their 30%, right? So, I'm probably going to end up with a little bit less money even than what I have now, but at least I'll be able to, say I'm paying off some of my debts, and that will feel good, right? And once I get some of that stress off of me, then, then I could start maybe thinking about starting a little business on my own. It's going to be consultation, but the thing is, there's so many life coaches out there and transitional coaches out there and coaches for change, right? And business coaches and YouTube, coach managers, right? Like, there's so many out there. Everybody is competing for those positions, right? You have to be the very best in order to succeed. To succeed, you have to be the very best. So I'm studying, and not only studying, I'm drawing from my own experiences and my own thoughts and my own ideas about things. And, I think I could do it. I think I can do it. And I can do it in a way that will do a lot of good for a lot of people, right? Oh, now that's an interesting thing. But no, this is a corporate business, so they do direct deposits and stuff. Yeah, and I want to do this right. Like, I don't want to do sneaky in my life. I want to be straight up, right? I want to be a good citizen. I want to represent. The whole reason why I was online is I just wanted to, you know, I just wanted I wanted to be respected for what I had to offer, right? I wanted to be remembered for something good that I contributed into the world. And I think what I'm doing now has garnered a little bit of respect, I think. And at the same time, I feel good about myself. I feel good that I'm doing what I'm doing. And I know it helps people, right? And if I could add that little bit extra enjoyment of having those explore videos out there, I promise I'm gonna put my motivational, right? I'm gonna put my motivational and my understanding, right? And my love 100% into my explore videos. I'm going to combine it all. It's how I'm going to draw people in, right? Is my explore videos, right? And I'm so grateful and so lucky that I have such amazing moderators, right? That when they when they start coming in droves, then everybody can just get to work and spread some kindness, because what you give out there, you get, right? So I try to give, right? In the hopes that not that I'll get, but things will ease up a little bit for me in the form of miseries. Because that's all I want. I just don't want to be unhappy. I don't expect to be a gazillionaire. I'm making the plans to be one. I'm making the plans to be one because I'm making big plans. And the thing is, the whole point of me doing this is to show everybody that it's absolutely possible. So of course I got to reach for the moon, right? I've got to reach for the moon. But it's not about the money. With me, it's never been about the money. It's never been about the money. The money will be very nice, right? And the money's going to do a lot of good. But it was never the main goal with me. Thanks, Melvin. And I agree with you out there. But it's funny. Here I am at my age and I'm starting new careers and, starting businesses, like business startup. And, I have all these great goals. I always talk about my goals and my future and stuff. And I'm 58 years old. I think it's absolutely amazing that at 58 years old, I can have those big dreams. And I would like to see other people do the same thing, right? I would love to see other people do the same thing. I love that. I'm going to write that one down, Andrew. Maybe that could be a quote of the day. I do. You don't come to my Instagram, Andrew, but I do a quote of the day, and I write little stories and stuff when I come across good quotes. What was my quote yesterday? I did one yesterday, and it was really good. Can't remember. And takes from the taker. Okay, everybody. That's our live for tonight. I still have a written post to do, and I have no idea what I'm going to write about, right? Yeah. It was lots of fun today. It was lots of fun today doing some bottle digging, and it was really nice coming in live. I know I'm sorry I didn't go live last week. It was, I had such an upset stomach. I just didn't think I would be able to make it through my live without having problems, right? And that would have been really, really embarrassing if that had happened. So I thought it was probably best that if I had intestinal issues that maybe maybe I didn't go live. Okay, everybody. Have a great night. If you want to come and hang out with us tomorrow on Instagram, every day I go live on Instagram at 6:00 Central. You're more than welcome to come and hang out with us. You're more than welcome to DM me in Instagram if you want to chit chat or get a hold of me. You can do that through Instagram or you can do that through Facebook, right? I'll get your message and we can have a little chit chat if you have some problems you want to talk about or you just want to talk about anything. I'm happy to hear from you. Okay, everybody. Have a great night and we'll see you next Sunday, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.